Come out to Little. Bright start this from Arsenal. And it's what we expected, Laura. Arsenal straight out of the traps.
It really is. Arsenal in their first game against Reading scored their first goal on 15 minutes. The second game against West Ham scored their first goal on the 23rd minute. So I think for Tottenham it's all about settling into this game as quick as possible and really stifling Arsenal, stopping them getting into their flow.
Joe Montemuro of Arsenal has had such a positive impact since arriving back in November 2017. Has really given them that extra edge, the edge needed to be champions. Something they enjoyed for so long in the women's game, were so dominant. Williamson for the run of her England teammate Nobbs, well pressured by Harrop. Will go Arsenal's way. She's been bright, Kit Graham, in Tottenham's games so far in the WSL. Yet to score, in fact, Tottenham, in terms of yet to score for a Tottenham player this season. The goal that they did net against West Ham was an own goal.
I think for Kit Graham, a lot of responsibility lies on her shoulders to be creative and to produce those moments in the final third.
Here come Arsenal. Oops. The overlap from Moritz earns the throw. Arrived in the summer from the German champions Wolfsburg. Very decorated player with them.
She settled into the WSL so well. I think we saw how good she was in her first game, her debut against PSG. She was in fabulous form and she's carried that on. She's certainly made that right back position her own.
Yes, Arsenal were involved in Champions League action back in August, losing in the quarterfinals to Paris Saint-Germain. The Women's Champions League, as the men's did, finishing off with a single-legged tournament. Tottenham free kick. Percival. Miedema coming deep. Just loves to get on the ball, Viviana Miedema. A lot's been made, Laura Bassett, of how Arsenal have not brought in the star names that we perhaps see in Manchester City with Rose Lavelle and Sam Lewis. Chelsea with Camilla Harder. Of course, Tottenham and Alex Morgan as Graham will go for goal. Easy for Manuela Zinsberger. But Arsenal would argue, well, we had the star names already, and Viviana Miedema typifies that.
Exactly, and especially how Rhodes settled into the season, and you know, I'm sure maybe the powers that be at Arsenal would have had conversations with those players coming over, and maybe they decided that they didn't need to add to the squad. But what they certainly have done is added players in the areas that they're needed most, which is full-back positions, by adding Catley, by adding Moritz, and you can see how successful they've settled in. So it's been more savvy recruitment, and they've done it all early on, apart from Wooben Moy again, which offers some good cover and depth in the centre-back position. So like you say there, I think they already had star quality.
Yes, the youngster Wooben Moy on the bench today for Arsenal. Hills, one of the joint head coaches at Tottenham, alongside Juan Amoros. It's a rather unusual setup, Laura, but they are very much joint head coaches. Been working together at Tottenham since 2011, and it seems to be working, given Tottenham's rise through the leagues in recent years.
Yeah, I think from talking to some of the girls, they certainly have a unique relationship, very, very different but you know, it seems to work for them, and they complement each other very well.
Free looking forward in the area, and how close was that for Arsenal? Early scare for Tottenham in this North London derby. Well, she scored her first league goal coming off the bench, Caitlin Ford for Arsenal in their last match. And my word, she was close here.
And we've seen this ball from Leah Williamson already this season for Kim Little's goal. And I think, you know, Caitlin Ford, that's such an easy header. I think Shalina Zadorski doesn't know she's on her back shoulder. But again, that's a big let-off for Spurs.
And Arsenal not letting up. Delivery was well blocked. Here is Little. Good challenge by Harrop. And away to safety. Well, she arrived back in January from Sydney, Caitlin Ford. Actually scored on her Arsenal debut in the FA Cup against Lewis back in February. As Tottenham come forward, here is Davison, the former Arsenal player. Moritz will race Ayan. Ayan will get there. Peplo. But these early touches on the ball for Tottenham, Laura Bassett, so important. Yes, these are both Women's Super League sides. They both play in the top flight of English football, as Davison won't keep that in. But 16 points the gap between them last season. Arsenal finishing a good way higher.
Yeah, it's a good reaction from Spurs, especially from, you know, getting that scare early on. But I think we've just seen that switch of play from Chloe Peplo. That's exactly what I was surprised when Josie Green wasn't in the starting lineup, which is normally the Spurs captain. But I think that's what Chloe Peplo is in that centre midfield for, to switch the play. We've already seen that technical prowess that she has, switch the ball from right to left. Unfortunately, Gemma Davison just miscontrolled it, but she can switch the ball just like that with a one-step punch. And that's what they're going to need, with especially get the ball to Gemma Davison, Rosella, Ayan and Ria Percival, and they can really get at this Arsenal team.
Tottenham's throw. Here is Neville. No relation to Percival. It's the corner off Schnaderbeck. And again, that's positive from Tottenham.
Yeah, it really is. And it's an interesting use of Ria Percival in a right wide forward role. Already we've seen her play centre midfield this season, used at right back as well. So, you know, she's obviously integral to what Tottenham are, what Tottenham do, and she's trusted by the two managers. So it'd be interesting. She certainly did well in that situation.
Goal kick Arsenal. Zadorski lurking at the far post. Made her debut in the last match against Everton. And a teammate at Orlando Pride of Alex Morgan. Always helps, doesn't it, Laura, when one player has made the move from a club. Can encourage teammates to follow. I'm not sure Tottenham at the start of the transfer window would have expected Alex Morgan to have followed. It all came about very quickly on deadline day. But what a boost that is to their profile. They had a big advert up in Leicester Square, welcoming the two-time World Cup winner of the USA.
That's right, Vicky. Players talk. You know, I'm sure Alex Morgan would have been in contact with both Zadorski and Kennedy. You know, how's it going? What are the coaches there? What's the environment there? The resources? Players talk, and you know, that would have had a big impact.
Almost a dangerous dispossession there from Arsenal. But Tottenham playing with a confidence early on.
Yeah, like I say, been a good reaction from since Ford hit the crossbar, and that's, I think most players have had touches on the ball as well. We've seen Gemma Davison have a little bit of a run, and you know, they've got their first corner. So exactly, with 10 minutes gone, they're gradually settling into this game.
Percival. Looking for Ayan, well covered by Schneiderbeck. Neville. Percival with the first time delivery. Here goes Miedemar. As Nobbs racing through the middle. Evans. Chased by Neville. Evans has got the jump on her. Making it difficult at that near post. Tottenham goal kick.
That's really important for Tottenham in those transition moments. You know, all of a sudden Tottenham having play in the Arsenal final third. And for 3 passes then, Arsenal are in your own 18-yard box. You know, you saw Jordan Nobbs busting the gut to get central. You know, they will attack in numbers, and the energy and enthusiasm that Arsenal have in the midfield with Little, Nobbs and Daniel van der Donk. You know, you really need to be able to track runners and compete with that midfield, because it certainly is a superb one.
There is van der Donk, the Netherlands international, looking for her compatriot, Miedemar. Arsenal free kick.
Yeah, I think Shalina Dzorti is just trying to protect the ball, use her body, and it's just bounced up and hit her hand.
So the decision goes Arsenal's way. McCabe and Little standing near this. Little moves away, so it will be McCabe. Van der Donk to send it back in. Blocked by Tottenham. What a player she's been for Arsenal over the years, Danielle van der Donk. Runner-up with the Netherlands in the World Cup final last year to Alex Morgan's USA. Might be a couple of scores to settle if she does make it on for her Tottenham debut. And Arsenal have a corner. Flick away. Tottenham will try and counter. Well stopped by Arsenal. But it's been a good contest in these opening 13 minutes or so. Laura Bassett, Arsenal coming the closest. Megan Ford hitting the bar with that header. Neville won't reach that.
See, that's a couple of times now. Spurs look to come in field and switch the play. Obviously, they're thinking that Arsenal are vulnerable on the opposite side.
Lovely footwork from Graham, though can't find Peplo. Here come Arsenal again. Ford challenged by Percival. Referee Lucy Oliver deems that to be an unfair challenge. Rhea Percival contesting that.
Yeah, I think she's been overzealous from the wrong side, and Caitlin Ford's got a body in between her and the ball and done well to draw the foul. But I think Rhea Percival had to do that because Neville, the fullback, was so deep.
That's a poor pass from Williamson, putting her side into trouble. Ayan and Tottenham can't make the most of it. There are divided family loyalties today for Leah Williamson. Childhood Arsenal fan, as is her mum, as is most of her family. Her dad, a massive Spurs supporter. When she plays, he can't even bring himself to say, "Come on, Arsenal." He'll just say, "Come on, Reds."
I'm sure he can make a little exception for his daughter.
"Come on, Reds" is as far as he'll go. That's what a North London derby does to you. Here is Peplo. Lovely turn from Ford to steal it. Arsenal going for what would be this record-extending 15th FA Cup triumph. Haven't won it since 2016 when they beat Chelsea at Wembley. The the only time they have been victorious at Wembley after the Women's FA Cup final switched venue from 2015. You won it back in 2012 with Birmingham the last time. Laura Bassett, what would it have meant to you to play the showpiece at the home of English football?
Yeah, I was there with Notts County, unfortunately, on the runners-up side, so I was involved in the very first game that was played at Wembley, and it was just an amazing occasion. It really was. It still means everything to female players, and long may it continue, because that's exactly where the showpiece should be played.
Lucy Oliver will stop play here to ensure that Daniela van der Donk is okay.
I think Alana Kennedy's got the ball out of her feet. She's trying to get in front of Daniela van der Donk, and yeah, she has definitely caught her, but I think she was just trying to get in and accelerate away and in front of her. I don't think there was anything malicious.
Here's a painful one, but an accidental one. The flag does go up on this near side. Big moment for her, Rosella Ayaan, as well. Had a very prolific season in Cyprus a couple of years ago. Has struggled to make the same mark since returning to England. Tight one, but flag is raised. Here come Arsenal, away by Tottenham.
Rosella Ayaan is such a top-class athlete. She's very physically fit, and this is what she'll do, try and do to the Arsenal back four, run the channels, and get in the spaces behind. She certainly will lead the line from the front, close down, and any kind of miss-pass or miss-accurate pass from the Arsenal back line, she'll certainly be there.
Lovely touch by Miedema from Williamson's ball. Will just roll through to Becky Spencer, but again we see that long ball from Leah Williamson. A lovely piece of skill from Viviana Miedema.
Yeah, that's right. I think she's willing to try anything. But Becky Spencer's smart off the line, nice and quick.
Here come Arsenal again with Evans to Nobbs. Evans ran into trouble. Tottenham will clear. Juan Amoros, just above Karen Hills there. That's dual coaching team at Tottenham. Amoros in particular has called on Tottenham to be better in the final third, more clinical in front of goal. It's something that you can see they have struggled with in their opening two in Super League games. They've had chances, haven't necessarily put them away. There's a woman who's had a chance. Caitlin Ford won't quite fall for Arsenal in the penalty area. Little loses out. And unsurprisingly, Kim Little is not a player that likes losing out, Laura Bassett.
No, that's right. Kim Little is... Anyone who played with Kim Little, she really adds so much value to a team. She's a leader, and she's always wanting the ball. She's so confident on the ball. When your team's under a bad spell, she's the go-to person. She will make things happen. She's the heartbeat to this team and every team that she plays on.
Neville has to be careful. Is careful. Spencer will clear. Captained Arsenal to their first league title in 7 years back in 2019. 13th major trophy with Arsenal. We're taking some chances there at the back with Zinsberger. And they'll come away with it, but Tottenham almost catching them out as Chloe Peplow does catch Katie McCabe.
it was a good. The idea was right from Tottenham to press high, but they were just half a second off. Every time they were getting to the ball had already gone past them. So the idea was right. That's why Chloe Peplow felt like she had to make a tactical foul to stop the counter-attack.
And I think that counts as a final warning from referee Lucy Oliver. Here is Ford. McCabe. Williamson again looking for Miedemar over the top. Throws down quickly and draws the foul, but again that's good pressing from Tottenham.
It is, it just stops Arsenal's flow, their momentum, their passing rhythm, and it just disjoints that. And also it gives the Tottenham team and players a little bit of a breather, a little bit of time to reshape and go again in this mid-block.
Met once before in the FA Cup, Arsenal and Tottenham. On that occasion, Arsenal won by 10 goals to nil, but these sides, particularly Tottenham, have come a long way since then. At the time, Tottenham were a third-tier side. They were semi-professional 3.5 years ago. Since then, they have climbed through the leagues. Made their top-flight debut last season, finished a very respectable 7th on points per game after the WSL was curtailed because of the pandemic. Welcome to England, Alex Morgan. Not quite the same as sunny Florida. Spencer's turn to be careful in the penalty area. Is Knobs. Davison. There is a calmness about Tottenham. I'm just hesitating to say that as Arsenal close them down. But that's very well done. Ford in a little late on Neville.
Like you say, Vicky, that's exceptional play from Tottenham to absorb the pressure and still have the composure and calmness to play around. And to be honest, I think that comes from Becky Spencer, having played with her. She's ultra calm, ultra assured, and I think, to be honest, she was maybe in the evolution of the female keepers being so assured and confident with their feet. Her, along with Carly Telford, really were at the forefront of when we saw the female keepers starting to be so confident with their feet. In all the teams that Becky's played for, she certainly had added that to the team.
It's very much the trend in the women's game, as it is in the men's. Something that the Arsenal goalkeeper Manuela Zinsberger talks about as well. Miedemar won't reach that. Well, midway through this first half, Tottenham were the clear underdogs coming into this match. I think Laura Bassett will be very pleased with how it's gone so far. That big chance for Arsenal, the header from Caitlin Ford rattling the crossbar. But apart from that, they've kept the Gunners at bay and put together some nice moves going forward themselves.
That's right, Arsenal are going to have some possession of the ball, but I think Tottenham have matched them, to be honest, and they certainly look like they know their job roles and responsibilities, and they're beginning to grow really into the game and take the game to Arsenal. Now they just need the cutting edge. They've had a couple of corners, but now they really need to start playing in the final third and test Zinsberger.
Neville's delivery easily met. Miedemar won't hold on to it. Zadorsky to Davison. Two-time FA Cup winner with Arsenal, Gemma Davison. Trying to exchange passes with Graham. Arsenal's turn to try and play out calmly from the back. But again, it's good closing down from Tottenham.
Yeah, it is, because I think it's easy to retreat, isn't it? It's easy to retreat into a mid-block, low block. But if you keep high, we've already seen this season Zinsberger take too long on the ball, and Dan Carter step in and take advantage of that. So I think if you can pin Arsenal back, get a little bit of pressure on, you know, you can hurt them, and that's obviously what Tottenham are starting to believe.
Good defensive duties from Ford. Little to Miedemar, who was then crunched by Zadorsky. Play continues, Arsenal advantage. Miedemar won't be involved in this attack. Forward towards Ford again. Can't find a teammate. It was dangerous for Arsenal. Here is Miedemar. And now, referee Lucy Oliver will take some action, and deserved action, I think, for Zadorsky. That was late on Miedemar.
Yeah, that's right. She's gone up to the ball. The ball's already been played round the corner from Miedemar, and Zadorsky's just took her out in the opposition half. And credit to Lucy Oliver for penalising her for that.
Not sure Miedemar had quite waited for the ball to go out of play before she picked it up, but it's been allowed to stand as an Arsenal throw. Here is Knox to Ford. Good foot in by Percival. Spencer looking to get things moving quickly. That time it won't pay off. Just reaches Williamson.
You can see the effects of the weather starting to play now, Vicky. You know, overhit passes, as soon as it bounces, it skids off, making it more difficult for players to control. We've seen a couple of players, you know, slip and their footing go underneath them. So this rain keeps coming down. We've just seen the, you know, the adjustments that players might need to make now.
Yes, the conditions are becoming, as Laura says, more difficult. Driving rain, sweeping across the pitch. Will chase this, and Spencer's calm and just about gets there. Well, she'll say job done. I'm not sure too many goalkeepers would like to see Viviana Miedemar bearing down on them when they're so far out of their penalty area. Moritz. Lovely interchange to find Little. Here is Nobbs. Vital interception. Just as Arsenal were preparing to pull the trigger. They come again, Nobbs flicks it forward towards Evans, who will take the corner.
We can see Tottenham shaped up really, really well. As soon as they win the ball, they're just giving it straight back to Arsenal, and that's a byproduct of Arsenal pressing so well. We've seen Caitlin Ford, Jordan Nobbs, they're so sharp. They want to win back that ball as quick as possible. And that's how they keep the pressure on and don't allow Tottenham out. Like I said, that Arsenal midfield is super competitive.
Little try something different this time from the corner. Moritz will strike it. Spencer will watch it wide.
I think McCabe was frustrated then. I think she wanted to unleash one, and why not? We've seen when she came into the West Ham team, she set up an assist with a first touch of the ball. She's got a superb delivery, and she's certainly a set-piece specialist.
She actually scored her first Arsenal goal, Katie McCabe, in that 10-0 victory over Spurs 3.5 years ago. We'll try not to mention it too often, Spurs fans. The problem is, quite a few of these Arsenal players on the pitch today scored in it. Arsenal free kick. Tonight is the first of 7 women's games live on the BBC in the next 5 weeks for you. Next week we have the FA Cup semi-finals. Brighton or Birmingham against Everton or Chelsea. You can see that on BBC 4 on Wednesday. Arsenal will be hoping to be in the semi-final on Thursday. McCabe's delivery is a dangerous one. Knox will drive and Tottenham will clear. Just.
All credit to Tottenham. I think they're throwing everything. Their bodies in front of the ball, defending so well. But look at this from Katie McCabe. This is exactly what she gives you. She picks someone out. But all credit to Kes Harrop there, getting up to the ball. Chloe Petblow putting their bodies on the line. Being so hard to beat.
Little tries her luck from the left, away by Neville. Miedema. Almost sprang a Tottenham break inadvertently there. Instead finds Little. Van der Donk. Scoops ball looking for Little, and that's very calm and very cool under pressure from Ashley Neville.
Ashley Neville's certainly been a good solid player for this Spurs team. She goes about her work very under the radar, very cool, calm, collected, and she does her job. And I think sometimes she goes and missing for that and goes under the radar. But she's certainly impressed some against some of the top forwards in the league.
Flag is up on this near side for offside. So yes, that second semi-final, which either Arsenal or Tottenham will contest, will be away to either Championship side Leicester City, the only Championship side left in the 1920 FA Cup, or holders Manchester City. That will be on BBC 2 on Thursday. The other three quarter-finals, I should say, taking place tomorrow. It is worth noting as well, Laura Bassett, that while it was decided that the Women's Super League would be decided on points per game, the desire of the FA to finish the FA Cup from last season just shows how important the competition has become, and particularly that Wembley showpiece final.
Yeah, that's right. It means everything. Also, there was talk around why couldn't the FA Cup be finished like how the Champions League was, in a condensed maybe over 7 days, 10 days, and that would have been a fabulous idea, but obviously that wasn't taken. But no, it certainly means everything to the players and clubs. It's such a prestigious competition that it should be finished. And also, it could be one of these clubs will have silverware so early on in the season. That could really provide great momentum and be a catalyst and set the tone for the rest of the season.
Yes, you wonder as well for some players. I know Steph Catley, the Australia star fullback who's injured today, so isn't playing for Arsenal, has spoken about how there are just so many trophies to win in England. You've got the FA Cup, you've got the Continental Cup, which is the version of the League Cup, as Ford tries to latch onto that. You've got the Women's Super League, you have the Community Shield returning, whereas in Australia and America, where a lot of these players have moved over from, it's very much focused on the league and then the playoffs.
That's right, it's fantastic. You, as a player, you want to be involved in all competitions as late as possible. You want to get to finals, and play in those big pressure moments, because in those moments, that's when you learn, you grow, and you find more out about your team, your club, and that's where you find out how where you are, where you need improving.
Now I think Casey McCabe may have taken a little bit of a blow, and the referee Lucy Oliver is just making sure. Yes, there's blood there on her shorts, so we're going to have to sort that out, Arsenal. Clean that up temporarily. Down to 10 players, while McCabe is seen to on the sidelines. Nice turn from Graham. Davison. Ball was racing on the overlap. Looking for Ayan at the far post. Such an experienced player, Gemma Davison.
Yeah, that's exactly where Spurs need to get her in those 1v1 situations. You know, Gemma has the option to cut in field and cross it, or she can take the defender on down the line 1v1. And, you know, certainly for those young players out there, if you want to learn any skills, or, you know, certainly go to Gemma Davidson's social media, because they're all the skills. She tried to teach me once, but it never happened, Vicky. But she certainly is so talented.
Practice makes perfect, Laura, no?
In Gemma's case, yeah, not mine.
You were a centre half, we'll let you off. So Katie McCabe's back on. We are 11v11 once again. 0v0, which Tottenham before this match I'm sure would have taken 36 minutes in. Oh yeah. Wins the throw. Just a niggly foul there from Little. A free kick in a good position for Tottenham here.
I think Rosella Ayanson so well so far, picking up free kicks, you know, making Arsenal put it out for a throw-in, a corner. All those little things add up and gets your team up the pitch. She's done so well for Tottenham to doing that.
Can Tottenham find the delivery? Plenty of bodies in and around the penalty area. It's a good delivery. Zinsberger gets something on it. Has to get up quickly as Davison sends it back in. And Arsenal will counter. Kennedy has hurt herself in trying to reach the ball.
There's a wonderful ball by Kit Graham. You know, exactly in that zone, the keeper's got to commit, got to come out, and fair play to Zinsberger. She certainly got contact on it. It's hard to see what happened to Alana Kennedy.
She's walking gingerly. Looks as though she will be able to walk it off. Another of those who have joined Tottenham on loan from Orlando Pride, along with Alex Morgan. It must be hoping that she brought enough layers, I would say, Laura Bassett. She's well wrapped up.
Are we thinking that the more times we show her on camera, the more likely she will be put on the pitch?
Well, she hasn't played competitively in over a year. She was injured and then gave birth to a baby girl, Charlie, back in May. She has trained a couple of times since arriving at Tottenham. And last week, they managed to get a quarantine exemption for her, which is why she's eligible to feature today from the bench. She is selected. I'm sure most Tottenham fans and fans of the women's game will very much be hoping that she is. Here is Peplo. Ball looking for Ayan. McCabe allows it to bounce. Ayan goes down. Tottenham asks the question. McCabe keeps her eye on the ball. Evelyn Peplo both get in a muddle. Zadorski. Won't be kept in. Well, she asked the question, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. I think minimal contact there, Vicky.
Are you always taking a bit of a risk when you get a handful of the shirt?
Yeah, in this day and age, especially, I think if VAR's involved, I think you have to be ultra careful. But still with just the setup as we are, I think those types of things you get away with.
There's no VAR today. I'll let you make your own minds up on whether that's a good thing or not. Here come Tottenham with Kennedy. Williamson and Moritz there with her. Lovely skill from Kennedy to get the ball across. And Zinsberger wasn't sure where that was going and had to be safe.
Really good play from Tottenham. All credit to Gemma Davidson, who won back the ball, but a great drive forward from Alana Kennedy. And I think she found nowhere to go. Didn't know, didn't have any help. So there we see that bit of skill, and I think that was a cross, but it certainly tested Zinsberger in these awful weather conditions.
Just shows it's worth sending it in, because that was curling. Tottenham corner. Zadorsky is up there. Zinsberger will claim. But again, Tottenham not afraid to commit bodies forward at set pieces.
No, that's right, and I think especially Ria Percival, Ayan, Gemma Davidson have done really well working from the front, spoiling Arsenal's rhythm and getting a toe in when they can.
Long forward from Van der Donk. Here's Nobbs. Miedema. Miedema still going. Nobbs, Miedema. This is lovely from Arsenal. And all that was lacking was the finish.
That's the Arsenal play that we're used to seeing. Look at Miedema pulling all the strings. She's trying to manipulate the opposition, pulling Chloe Peplow into positions that she doesn't want to go in. You can see Jordan Nobbs clearly knowing that there's space in behind for Miedema to get it back. Could there have been a dual Rord there waiting centrally to tap it in previous games? Well, that's exactly what we've seen. But again, a chance created out of nothing. A chance created from Miedema's skill and awareness.
She is a miss for them today, Rord. Picks up a knee injury on international duty with the Netherlands. Here is Ford. Miedema. Percival will tidy up for Tottenham. Wasn't sure whether to leave it for Miedema or go herself. Arsenal will come again. Ayan again, right on the shoulder of Williamson, racing for any sort of mistake. Kennedy, perhaps called a little late there by Evans. Play continues. Here is Kennedy. Percival. And again making the move, but Schneiderbeck will tidy up. But if it's not Ayan closing down, it's Graham through the centre. Again, Tottenham's movement outside the Arsenal penalty area is calculated, it's deliberate. They know when to press, they know when to put the pressure on, working well together.
They're clearly shown a clear understanding of when to press, when not to, and also to do it together and to make Zinsberger make whatever pass she was going to make it predictable for the rest of your team, so it's an easy win.
Nobbs will chase this. Neville just ease it out of play. Into 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half. First half in which Tottenham, as the underdogs, have acquitted themselves exceptionally well. will be delighted at half-time, as will he, the joint coaches. They can see this out.
Be interesting to see if they make any changes at half-time. You know, they've certainly been bold in the last 2 games, and in both games they've made 5 subs, so, you know, they certainly believe and have trust in their squad, and the whole players have an involvement and a value part to play.
Yes, the Women's FA Cup, as the Women's Super League, are adopting the 5 from 9 substitutes. And a rather plummet expression from the Arsenal boss, Joe Montemuro, because his side, although they've gone closest, hitting the bar with a header from Caitlin Ford early on, have been held by a very impressive Tottenham performance so far, Laura Bassett.
Yeah, that's right. I think Tottenham will be really, really pleased defensively, but now they're just, how are they going to hurt Arsenal? How are